we're all in it together. Players, coaches, training staff, management team. I don't know, we got 50 or 60 people traveling with us. Everybody's part of the team, and it's emotional for everybody. That's what happens in playoffs. There's a lot of highs, there's some lows, and you get excited, but we've already got to turn the page and move on.
Todd, when they went ahead early, how happy were you with the way that your team stuck with playing their game instead of trying to opening it up, and that allow you to come back the way that you did?
Well, we've played them enough to know that we can't do that. And, even down the stretch when we were down by 2, we couldn't let it get to 3. And we had to check for our chances, be patient, use the clock as much as we could, and it worked out in our favor. There's no guarantee that will happen again, but all we had to do was worry about tonight and prepare for the next game tomorrow.
Todd, your first 4 power plays, you didn't generate a whole lot. Adrian was up there saying the guys just weren't shooting, and then you started to shoot the puck, and you scored on their last 2, which obviously they're most important. As a coach, is it just a simple thing to say shoot the puck, or what do you say in the conversations in intermission to get your power play going, which had been really...
Well, I think sometimes, maybe for both teams, we've had a pretty good power play. And you start to look for stuff and it's not there, and then you don't have a backup plan, and it just gets out of disarray. And at that point, you just got to simplify things. And we weren't quite there early in the game. We had to talk about it a little bit, and again, it ended up working out for us at the end.
How would you assess the play of Joonas Korpisalo tonight, especially in overtime?
Well, he gave us the game we anticipated he would. It's expected of him and from him. He expects a lot from his teammates out in front of him. But when push came to shove and he had to make a big save, he was there. And again, we're lucky to have him and Phoenix as a tandem right now. We feel fortunate.
It's a good team effort to win a game like this, but Vladislav Gavrikov had some really good one-on-one defending moments. His performance, the way he worked with Matt Roy, was he doing well? Like you said from him?
That's okay. Yeah, I thought Gavi had a very good night, both defensively and offensively. He made a few offensive things happen. Probably our best defenseman, without watching it again, but just the eyeball test from the bench. And he's brought that since he's arrived. He has a presence, and I just like Korpi. We're lucky to have him. Good move on our behalf to try and plug some holes.
Todd, you've had, over here, Todd.
Sorry.
Todd, you've had Adrian Kempe over the last few years, obviously, and you've seen his growth. What in particular do you think unlocked him to be the player that he is now? And when he's able to have the shot making and the playmaking that he showed tonight to jumpstart you guys, what does that do?
Unlocked. I think Adrian unlocked Adrian. It's not easy coming to the National Hockey League as a young player. Teams, coaches, support system all have expectations of you, and you may not be ready to deliver it right away, and it just gets harder and harder. But if you stick with it and you fight through it, you can end up being Adrian Kempe. And I've said this before, he's a great story for our young players. But you have to break through at some point, and your lifeline doesn't last forever. He took advantage of his.
Todd, Alex Alafala scored the big goal for you guys, but it looks like he does a lot of heavy lifting, some of the stuff that maybe you don't get a lot of credit for. I just wonder if you can get a thought on him and his play tonight.
Yeah, Alex is kind of our unsung hero. He cleans up, Trent Yanni always says he cleans up a lot of messes. Errors, mistakes. For teammates, he seems to be the cleanup guy. But on the other side of it, he has the ability to score. He can go up and down the lineup. He penalty kills, block shots. A utility guy that is often forgotten when you roll into Edmonton or Calgary or wherever you might be going, but certainly isn't forgotten in our locker room.
What went into the team-wide effort just in slowing down, doing a good job in slowing down some of their superstars?
Well, one of their superstars had 2 goals tonight, so, and the other drew 2 penalties to make it 5-on-3. So they had their mark on the game too. And you're not gonna stop them every night. The fact that we played hard, we got production from different areas, different situations, I think was important, but again, maybe the lesson we learned last year that we weren't prepared for is the level of plays going up immensely in game 2. And we can talk about game 1. We have to right now with you, as much as we want or need to, but we got to move on.
But your number 1 center at 4 points was on every goal. Just talk about the effort from Kobe tonight.
Yeah, expected and delivered. 2 words that probably describe Kobe pretty well for the past, 16 years, 17 years? I don't even know how long he's played, forever. And he's got a lot left in him.